Everybody, thank you so much for coming along to PitchFest 2020. I'm Rick. Many of you will know me, and I'm here today with my esteemed colleague, Daniel Boyle. Not the Daniel Boyle, the film director, it's even more famous Danny Boyle, the sales manager at QBS MSP. So we've got a really good session lined up for today, and thank you all of you for coming along. It's going to be good fun. Maybe not for the vendors who are under a bit of pressure to get a pitch done in 5 minutes, but I'm sure they will rise to the occasion as they always do. So, big question mark that you might have if you've not received a memo from us already. We recently became QBS MSP, so we are now QBS MSP. We're no longer known as ZEDSPHERE. Just in case you were wondering why there's been a name change, we are now part of the larger QBS technology group, and we've really done this because it allows us to provide a much more comprehensive portfolio of products. It allows us extra financial stability as a business to support you as MSPs, and it was a really great move for us to make as we're getting into year 5 and 6 of our history over at ZEDSPHERE, and just really allows us to make some step change in growth for what we can offer. And the reason we've got these vendors today is this is actually kind of like a launch of the new vendors in our portfolio following this change. So I'm sure you're going to get the most of it. Right, so the vendors we're going to be looking at today are in front of you here. We've got Altaro. We're going to be starting off with Keith. Then we've got uSecure. Then we've got BitDam, who's Maura from BitDam. We've got uSecure, which is Charles. Perimeter 81, which is Jim. And then we've got Rob from Thycotic. You might have had a look at some of the videos that we've seen on social over the last week or so in part of our teaser campaigns and stuff. But you're going to get a bit more information today. Right, so the way that this is going to work is everybody will pitch. Just got some house rules to go through with you first, though. Okay, so I have muted you all for just audio quality. Okay, and now you will know that in the bar at the bottom of the screen there is a chat section. So please don't be shy to put questions in there if you've got to ask a question or if something's going wrong or whatever. So use that. The rules are basically as follows. Each vendor has 5 minutes to pitch. So we're going to keep this whole session to under an hour, and the time limits will be stringently adhered to. So we are not going to let anybody run over. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be keeping time, and vendors, for those of you that can hear me, you're going to get a 1 minute warning when you've got 1 minute left. Okay. And at the end of 5 minutes, you will be stopped. So you've got to get it in there. We're not going to let you just kind of like drone on. Okay. Then what will happen is Danny will be collating all the questions that you guys will be typing into the chat throughout the session. And what he's going to do is he's going to pick the most relevant questions or the most popular questions, and he's going to ask the vendor representative the questions that he thinks are best or most relevant. And again, that will just be 5 minutes, and we will be strictly adhering to the time constraints. So it's pretty straightforward.
Just to let you all know as well with the questions, any questions I do get unanswered just because we run out of time, I will chase them up and just let everybody know individually if there's anything that's missed as well.
Cool. So what will happen is you all should have received an email now, and everybody who's registered should have received an email, obviously with joining details for this meeting. But also with a link to this landing page, which you can find here at info.qbsmsp.com/pitchfest. Now, what will happen is you all need to complete this simple landing page, and each vendor will essentially have an offer. And you can decide whether you want to take the offer or not. And the offer might be to have a free 30-day trial. It might be a one-to-one demo with a product specialist. If you think this product is interesting to you and you think it might be applicable in your business, you can just tick the box that you're interested in, and then it also asks you who you think actually won the whole pitch off. Okay, and the vendor that wins the whole PitchFest event will get extra focus from us because it's been so popular. So there is a bit of a prize in there because we're going to be doing a campaign for that vendor, which to an equivalent value normally of about £25,000. There's a big deal for these vendors that they've turned up today to win this. They're trying to win this competition. So feel free to dive in and ask them questions. So moving swiftly on, I'm going to hand over to our first person, which is Keith from Altaro. Keith, are you there? Keith is muted. Shall I unmute you? Here we go. I'm unmuting you now.
Right.
Keith, can you hear it? Can you hear me?
Yeah. No, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can see it. Right.
Cool.
So Keith, are you ready to go? Feeling confident?
We should give this a go. Let me do this. Let me do that. Right. You ready for this?
Yeah, we're ready. So your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Keith Joseph. I'm a channel manager for Altaro Software. We're a brand new vendor to QBS. This is our first iteration of working with them. We've chosen QBS because it's about offering world-class products to the MSP market within the UK environment. Basically, the most cost-effective data recovery products that we can to you guys. And we felt that with QBS, we were going to get the best support that we could support you guys with. And we were trying to make it as easy as possible. That's basically what we're going to do. So here we go. Try to do a data recovery product in less than 5 minutes. So what we do, we back up data. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's about backing up data for your clients. And the reason we do that is that data is the most important commodity your clients have. So therefore, data backup comes under the security suites that you guys need to offer. That's what we do, and that's how we do it. So let's explain what we do. As a company, we follow 4 core values. And this is set down from the owners of the company, and it is everything with us has to be easy to use, it has to be easy to install. We have to offer you the best support in the industry, and I'll cover that in a second. We don't market in a traditional manner. We market in a manner that is educational, ebooks, tutorial, the rest of it, and we do everything through the channel. Hence why I'm a channel manager, not a salesperson. The products themselves come under effectively 3 banners. You've got Server Stack, 365, and Server Stack is whether it's physical or whether it's virtual. 365 is 365 at the end of the day, whether it's sold this way. And very shortly, we're in beta testing for Endpoint, but I'm not allowed to tell you that, but I did anyway, so there we go. With regards to support, we only have 1 level of support, which is you either are supported or you're not. If you're on subscription, you're supported by default. We don't have any gatekeepers. We have chat in the product. We have, which normally gets answered in about 12 seconds. We've got email, which is normally answered in a couple of minutes, and we've got the phone, which is normally about 30 seconds. So we can happily go to market and say we will support your call under 30 seconds. What we're talking about today is a monthly subscription. So when we talk about MSP, we're talking about a monthly subscription program that you can only buy predominantly through QBS. Okay. The model we've put together is effectively an easy to use, it's non-contractual. So basically, as you consume, you pay. If you need to stop the service, you can stop the service. Please just stop the service. But most people don't, they just grow and grow and grow. If you use a product, you get billed for it. If you don't use the product, you don't get billed for it. There's a minimum entry level, but that is absolutely minimum just to keep the service ticked over. And it's all managed by the Cloud Management Console. The Cloud Management Console is effectively your gateway to managing your clients remotely anywhere in the world, and will give you, it's a multi-tenanted environment, and it gives you the ability to put it on a wall and do what you need to do. Okay. That's the world's fastest pitch on what the product is. The realities are, why should you buy the product? Okay. With Altaro, there is effectively 4 revenue streams where you will earn money from us. There is the margin that you'll earn from selling the MSP program. There's the managed services that is incumbent with the fact of what we do. There's business continuity and DR services you can build into the product. And then there is storage, because wherever there's data, there's got to be storage. So let's talk about the dirty word, margin. You can make, if you price this product correctly, around 200% margin, for example, on a VM sold to a client. And you will do that month on month.
1 minute remaining.
Right. Okay. When it comes to managed services, you can do that via the CMC. It's a free of charge tool. So anything that you're managing with your clients, you can put through. Disaster recovery, you can do basic cloud entry levels. You can add to the product. You can do more advanced where you replicate the data into your data center. You can do it via the cloud and do the offsite server. The great thing is the offsite server is multi-tenanted, so you can do exactly what you like with
30 seconds.
When it comes to cloud, this is a nightmare. When it comes to storage, you can do SAN, NAS, DAS, cloud. You can do it through Azure, AWS, and Wasabi. Basics are we give you backup as a service. That's what we do for Server Stack, 365 end user. We're 12 years old. We've got tons of customers.
10 seconds.
Okay. Roadmap is we've got one. There you go. Have a look at the roadmap. Any questions? There you go.
Oh,
And time. Round of applause.
yeah, that was very good. That. You can breathe now, Keith.
Just so well I know what I'm doing.
Well done, Keith.
So,
well done, Keith. That was good.
Point out to the next four coming on. That's a lot harder than it looks.
You had the hard job starting off. That was fair play to you, mate. Right. Okay.
Right,
So
anyway,
so Danny,
Yeah,
you've been keeping the questions. So I'm going to start the clock again for 5 minutes of questions. Over to you, mate.
yeah, no problem at all. So Keith, we've got Howard, who has asked is what is the minimum entry levels
So
for your
for
products?
the VMs, it is 10, but that can be spread across 10 different customers. The pricing is £4 per VM per month. So the minimum commitment you need to do is 40 quid. But as I said, you can spend that through. Where the 200% margin comes through is the fact that we see a sellout between 12 and 14 quid as an average across our customer base. That's where your 200% comes from. 365, it's 30 mailboxes, but again, that can be spread across multiple domains. So it's not a problem on that front. And that's top ended out at, if you want SharePoint or OneDrive, that's £2.11. That will come with storage and absolutely everything. That's a completely managed solution. Physical is just one-offs, so you can do that as and when you need.
Okay, brilliant. Mike from Zentech has asked is what is Altaro's USP compared to Datto?
Simple, ease of use. Every client that loves our product, it's so easy to use, so intuitive, and just it is exactly what it says in the tin. You'll have it up and running in 15 minutes flat. There's a consistency across all the product sets, so it's easy to use via the CMC. It is very, very simple to get to know what the product does. And then the big one is support. When you've got chat built into the product, you can hit chat and you'll get an engineer. You won't get any gatekeepers. So with Datto, you get a gatekeeper, which can be days before you get an answer. With us, you're straight through to an engineer. The engineer will do exactly what he needs to do.
To be fair, I can back that up, and we've also got people in chat saying about how good your support is as well.
Yes.
So Darren has said they're in the beta of the endpoint at the moment. Currently, it's server 2016 minimum. Is that likely to change to include 2012?
It possibly. I don't have the because we're in beta at the moment. I don't have the roadmap for exactly where we're taking the product. What you need to do is feed that back to product development, because if we get that from a number of sources, how we work is if whoever shouts the loudest for a new feature will get it added to the product.
Okay, no problem. And Howard has asked, does it support Hyper-V backup from a Windows 10 Pro desktop?
Oh, bloody hell.
There's always one to stump someone, don't worry.
Can you send me that and I'll check it?
Yeah, of course.
It does, but I want to double check that before I make a statement that's recorded. If it wasn't recorded, I might give an answer.
No, it's better to be safe than sorry. So Howard, obviously, I'll just filter that through to you guys as well once we've got the answer. Collins actually replied saying Windows 10, yes, if you log into the CMC.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Is there any more questions, Rick? What are we like on time?
You've got 2 more minutes.
Okay. Is there any more questions that you want to just type in the chat, just where you've got Keith's attention?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Actually, TJ has asked a question. Proxmox VMs? Question mark.
Proxmox.
Yeah, you might have to elaborate a little bit more on that, TJ.
Yeah. While we're waiting for TJ to elaborate, I know that you guys are a big competitor to Veeam. I mean, what's the difference in your mind, Keith, between Altaro and Veeam?
So look, I'm not going to get into Veeam are the market leaders for a reason. They do what they do really well. The difference is the Veeam's squarely aimed at the enterprise space. They want the FTSE 500 companies. We will always play in the SMB space. So our customer base is 1,000 seat and below. With an average of anything between sort of 20 seats up to about 250 to 300 is the range where you get, and then we have the occasional whale that we add into it. It's Veeam is a very, very complicated product. Ours is very, very simple. It's about sort of not allowing you to go off and have to be put an engineer on a plane, go to somewhere in the Middle East, Near East, to get trained, cost you $5,000 to do it. Ours is about working with you. That's our USP. Okay. It's about making it easy.
Okay.
Got to do one last one very, very quickly, Donny. Literally one word answer.
Just the one that I see. Can you back up to locally and replicate to Wasabi?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how we work. That's how we generically work. If you go back to this picture here, it says trying to go back very, very fast. So you would back up to your local storage, and then this could be Wasabi or AWS or as it's stated here, Azure. That's a standard staple. All you do with us is you put the hexadecimal key in, it'll go straight through and we'll do the rest of it for you. It's all pre-built into the product.
Thanks,
Right,
Keith.
on that note, there's my contact details. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
A virtual round of applause for Keith, everyone. Well done, mate.
I wonder how many people without the videos on are clapping as well. That's interesting.
They all are, don't they? Every single one of them. Okay, right. So next on the agenda, we have Mawar from BitDam. Are you there, Mawar? Oh, Keith's just found the screen share.
Yeah,
Mawar, are you there? Hi, Mawar. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mawar, I'm going to start you off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Mawar. I'm the CTO and co-founder of BitDam. At BitDam, we prevent phishing and ransomware from email and collaboration channels. I'll start with a snapshot of part of our dashboard, as you can see here. This is what we call the detection timeline. I took it last week from a small customer, SMB customer, only 83 accounts, that is using Office 365 ATP. And in here you can see how many detections we detected just last week, despite him having Office 365 ATP. So those are all the misses that actually bypassed ATP. And you can see here that we have detected the likes of phishing, malware, ransomware, and so on. All these are stuff that we are protecting against for organizations. Now, this is not a real surprise for us, because in the past 8 months, we've been conducting a study that shows the leading security solution in the email on how they, I would say, react and handle those new attacks out in the wild. So you can see we took just a few proof points, Office ATP and G Suite. You can see the miss rate is range about 30%. And we also measured the time to detect, meaning how many hours it takes them to block something they previously missed. So here you can see that it ranges from 10 hours to 53 hours if you're using Office ATP. The full study can be found in our website, or you can shoot me an email, I can send it to you with all the gory details, the setup and everything. Now, email is not the only thing that BitDam is providing. We are specializing in content-borne threats, meaning everything that comes in a form of a file or a link. As I showed you before, it is a ransomware, malware, phishing, and so on. And we do it also for OneDrive and Dropbox and Teams and Zoom, for example, right? All those are used to, to exchange files and links. So those are attack surfaces as well for organizations. Regarding our service, so we're a cloud-based solution hosted in Azure. We're a multi-tenant kind of solution. The deployment is just one click. And for the email specifically, you don't need to change any MX records, super, super easy. The way we are able to actually do that is because we're integrating with the APIs of those platforms. So we're actually communicating with them. And actually, for example, for email, Office 365 notifies us whenever a new email is getting to the tenant, and then we are, scanning it. Regarding MSP, we do have a special console for MSPs where you can manage all your tenants. As you can see here, you can add more tenants. You can see how many, what integration they have, how many users, what are the detections, and the total accounts of, a specific root tree, I would say. You also have the option to have support over our system by adding notifications for malicious files getting, malicious URLs, changing configurations, and so on and so on. Recently, we were named the cool vendor by Gartner in the Office, it's called Office, Cloud Office Security space, sorry. And this is we do have many, I would say, enterprise customers, and we are aiming to bring this enterprise-grade security to the SMB market.
1 minute
as well,
remaining.
Right? That's fine because I'm pretty much over. I would welcome you to search, to install BitDam on your environment. As I mentioned, it's a one click. You can find us on Microsoft Azure Marketplace. Just type in BitDam and choose if you want Teams, email, or OneDrive. That's it. I'm finished.
Okay, brilliant. We have
30 seconds to go as well. That's efficient.
Yeah, that is very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Danny, I'm going to reset the clock over to you for questions and stuff.
Yeah, so first question we've got from Martin is, what is the actual pricing and how is it built? Is it per device, per user?
So the pricing is per email account. Okay. This is the price model that we have. So in the same pricing of £3 per month, you can get email, OneDrive, Teams, SharePoint, and so on.
Okay, no problem. And we have Gary who says, do you have EU and UK hosting options, as some clients are not happy for data to flow outside of the EU?
Yes, sure. Yes, we do have a UK environment for those purposes. We do have UK customers. We have references in UK, Scotland, in Birmingham, in other places. So yeah.
Okay. Rahin has asked, is it tiered pricing or just one simple price?
So we do have some tiers. I don't remember it exactly. Yossi is from my team. He's also on the call. Yossi, would you like to say a few words on that?
I would just say that for the purpose of SMBs in the range of 50 to 500, it's basically just one price.
Okay. That's it. It's nice and simple. That's brilliant. Does the £3 per user or per mailbox include shared mailboxes?
Shared mailboxes are not included in the overall pricing. This is on the go.
Okay. Howard has asked, is there any minimum entry? Any minimum order sizes?
No, so we do have, I don't know if you can see here, but we do have, customers that are one, for example. So we are welcoming all sizes in that sense.
Okay. If there's any more questions, guys, just let me know. Just one from me. Is it a multi-tiered and multi-tenanted platform and console?
Yes, yes. an MSP can manage all his customers just in one place, and he can view each tenant separately with the right, I would say, permissions, obviously, right?
Okay, that's fine. And is there any need, like once you've purchased an order for an original batch, is there any need to replace orders, or is it simply just add as many customers as you want, and then we'll get the report back at the end of the month?
So we're pretty flexible. Usually we do the latter that you mentioned, but we can work also otherwise.
Okay, no problem. Rick, any questions from you?
No, I'm all good. Thank you.
Okay, any more questions from anybody else? Just quickly put it in the chat.
Okay, excellent.
No?
Okay,
That's another
virtual
little...
round of applause for Mara, everybody. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Mara. Good effort.
Thank you.
Good effort. Okay, so 2 down, 3 to go, and I am positive that our 3 remaining vendors are quaking in their boots, looking nervous and sweaty whilst they're waiting to take their turn. But next we have Charles from uSecure. And so Charles, are you there?
I'm here. How you doing?
Okay, Charles, just want you to know that we do have very high expectations of your performance today. So please don't let us down.
No problem. Just to check, you can hear me okay, can't you?
It's
Yeah,
a
we
little
can-
bit echoey, just to let you know.
Is it?
It's good enough. It's all right.
It's
Yeah,
clear
you're all right.
enough.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Charles, are you ready?
Yeah. Do I share it or do you pass me the
No, you
presenter?
can just share. You can just click on share, and it should share your screen for you.
Perfect.
Okay. Right.
You should be able to see my logo and your logo.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for joining me here today. I'm Charles Preston, CEO of uSecure. We have recently partnered with ZEDSPHERE, now QBS MSP. We've had a really great launch period as well. We've actually signed up over 100 partners to the uSecure uService platform already. So really, really good start, and we're really encouraged by the relationship that we've got with them. So I'm going to try and get through everything in 5 minutes here, of course. So what we're going to cover is what is uSecure, why uSecure is a perfect fit for MSPs, and then what's going to happen after PitchFest. So uSecure is 4 security products in one. So we break that down to it's a fully functional proprietary LMS. So that means that you can build your own courses, distribute security awareness courses, and also distribute compliance courses as well. That's uLearn. It's a full proprietary phishing simulator, which is uPhish. So there's an example of one of the phishing templates in the top right-hand corner there, which I think is the Google template. So you're able to send out phishing simulations to your clients, engage whether phishing is a risk for them, and help them improve over time. We also have a dark web scanning function called uBreach. So you're able to use that to work out whether your clients have been putting their email addresses into services that are non-work related, to understand whether there is a risk out there on the internet for them. And we also have a full policy management platform called uPolicy. So that enables you to reinforce everything that you do in terms of training, phishing, and InfoSec back with policy management to really, really reinforce the message that your client should have within the business. And we tie that all together with our MSP platform uService. So that's our single pane of glass management platform where you can add customers, manage your clients, and go in there and administer them to be able to do things like run the security awareness training campaigns, run the phishing simulations, and run the uBreach scans and uPolicy. So the reason why we're a perfect fit for MSPs is because we have a really simple licensing model. We have one SKU, so you can only buy one thing from us that gives you all of the products that I've just mentioned. We also do simple monthly billing with no minimum order and no minimum term. So it really is pure MSP billing. And our ambition in the MSP space is not to sell the uSecure brand, but but to use the uSecure as a toolbox to enhance your service offering to your clients. So you can do absolutely loads of stuff with uSecure. So you can do templated phishing, you can run more intricate spear phishing campaigns, you can set it up so the phishing just happens in the background, you can create your own training modules as well, and we have hybrid training, interactive training, video-led training. We also do a whole suite of compliance training as well, which includes everyone's favorite, GDPR. I mentioned policy management before. That includes the auditory process and e-sign feature. So you don't have to then integrate it with a hello sign or anything like that. And we also have the dark web scan. So you can take, we do a lot more than that as well, but they're just kind of like the highlight features. So you can add all of those into your service offering, white label it, and take that out to your clients. And our MSRP is £1.25 per user per month. So it's a really, really high value and a really nice entry level cost for you to get out there and start selling. So we're really big on support. So we have a number of ways in which we support you. So we have an integrated help center in the application that covers all the FAQs. It covers any articles on any topic. So it really is self-service. But if you're ever stuck, just jump on the live chat and you can come and talk to us directly. So you might get me, or another member of the team. We're all geared up to take that first message. We have a whole suite of videos, social campaigns, and social email templates to help get you selling. But if I'm going to sort of talk about the tools to sell, this is what we do. So out the gate, we'll give you all of the resources you need to go out to your clients, prospects, to get
1 minute remaining.
Get them talking. Then we'll do the dark web scan with your clients. We typically find that 2/3 of users are exposed and 35% of clients will sign up at that point. But then we reckon you reinforce that with a phishing simulation where you'll get 3/4 of your clients signed up when they realize that the risk is present in their business, that their users are not geared up to defend the business against phishing attacks. So this is what it looks like in a 100-user organization. That's how many people give their data away on the dark web, and that's how many people we can show will be at risk from phishing simulations. So after this presentation, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a free NFR for life, because we know that partners that use uSecure can sell uSecure. You're booking some time with us and with QBS so that we can launch your go-to-market plan and generate interest in your client base, and then we will train you commercially
10
and
seconds.
so you can go and win your first client off the back of this call within 30 days. That's pretty much it.
That was good.
Right on the nose, literally
Boom.
5 minutes.
And I've never practiced that presentation.
Bravo. Bravo. That was excellent. Okay. Cool. Right. Thank you, Charles. So, Danny?
Yeah, at the moment, not many questions. I see that as a good thing because I think you've covered everything, Charles. So, first of all, someone already recognizing how that they would highly recommend you. At the moment, they're currently testing you in their own company. That's from Matthew. One from me, I've noticed a lot of feedback regarding the little 14-day trial that you have in your software. Can you explain that a little bit, Charles, to the people here?
Yeah, of course. So as well as the free NFR license, any client that you sign into your uService account, you can run a free 14-day trial with that client, and we recommend you use that to run through the dark web scan and the spear phishing assessment to show to your client that there is a real risk within their business that needs mitigating through security awareness training.
Okay, that's brilliant. And at the end of the 14 days, it'll be notified, won't it, to say, do you want to make it a chargeable service or?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Clive's asked, how do you get the phishing emails to the inbox?
So we recommend that you first step is you whitelist our IPs, so that in 95% of cases that will ensure that it hits the inbox. Outside of that, we have guidance in the help center around things like Gmail and Office 365. If you do need to actually go in there and start adding the URLs and domains into a whitelist.
Okay, no problem. Is it a monthly rolling contract?
Yes.
That's good. And obviously it is multi-tenanted, multi-tiered and things like that, isn't it, as well? Yeah. Any more questions from anybody else? Just type it in if you've got any. Rick, have you got anything at the moment?
Yeah, I always feel with training products that the software itself can be great, but if the content is boring and unengaging, that the users actually won't get the benefit of it and won't learn, won't pick up the content. So Charles, like, can you tell us a little bit about what you guys have done to kind of make sure that the content and the training courses in there are actually appropriate for a particular audience?
Yeah, sure. So as an overarching approach to training, we use what's called micro-learning. So we do short bite-sized modules, which means we always capture people in that time frame where they maintain their focus and maintain their interest. And the modules are designed to be no more than 10 minutes long. The reason why that's important in the MSP space as well is because we do recommend running training on a monthly basis. So it's a little and often approach, rather than doing a big training module at the start of the year, for example. And that feeds in really nicely to the managed service provider model, which is charging the client monthly. So it allows you to show month-on-month value. Within the modules themselves, we have 2 styles of content. So we have our more traditional style, what we call hybrid content. So these are the types of module which we've been using for the last 3 or 4 years, which are a combination of video, interactive content, and just static kind of e-reader content. So we blend all that together so the modules remain interesting and always slightly different as you go through the module. So hopefully by doing that, we've managed to capture. We managed to make sure it's not one just static way of delivering the modules to end users. The second thing we've actually started doing is we have a series-based, like Family Guy-esque cartoon series, which is more comedy-led. So dependent on the client and dependent on their appetite, we have 2 different styles which may suit one client more than the other, but they're both an option to deliver through the platform.
That's brilliant. One more from me. So Clive's asked us to training include like games and videos. I'm guessing videos is a given.
It includes videos and it's interactive. We don't have any gamified content right now. Okay,
no problem. A lot of people are stressing how much they love it. Paul, he's obviously he's one of the 100 who signed up. He's already using great products added, and he says that he's added to his security started quite nicely. Gary, we are testing uSecure. Can you point us to these types of training?
Sure, yeah. If you just go into the course library, there is a drop-down section at the top, and you'll see there is InfoSec video, and it's the video-led training, which is the series-based stuff.
Okay, no problem. I think that's all it from me, Rick.
Great, excellent. Thank you very much, Charles. That was excellent. Round of applause for Charles, everyone. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Good effort. Very good. Very good. Right, so we have 2 vendors remaining. And I can see that Jim Finity from Perimeter 81 is with us. Jim, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So we just need Charles to stop his screen share, and then we can get you on.
Terrific.
Has that stopped it?
I think so. Okay, cool.
Well, not yet. No, I think I'm still having trouble sharing.
Yeah, we can still see your screen, Charles. There you go. You've done it
there
now.
It is.
Yeah. Okay, great. So, Jim, I'm going to hand over to you. Do you want to set yourself up, get your screen share sorted? Awesome.
Can you see it all right?
Okay. Yeah, we can see it. Okay, Jim, you feeling good?
Feeling good. Those are hard acts to follow, but prepared
definitely.
to do my best.
Good. Okay, you are ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pitch.
Excellent. So I'm Jim Finnerty. I'm the channel partner manager for Perimeter 81, where we're simplifying network security for the modern and more distributed workforce. So our founders started Perimeter 81 2 years ago with this vision of a new perimeter because the old perimeter is dead. Right? So resources are moving to the cloud, and in greater and greater numbers, workers are no longer confined to the office. So why are we and organizations relying on legacy technology to protect the premise when resources are somewhere else and the workers are as well? In fact, with the COVID-19 pandemic, that vision has been accelerated with more and more workers needing to remote into office environments using legacy technology that was designed 30 years ago. This technology, first of all, is not designed for the current environment, right? It's protecting the premise. It's not protecting assets, or it wasn't designed to protect assets that are cloud-based. It involves capital expenditures, which can be prohibitively expensive, especially for the SMB. And it can be cumbersome to manage. You have to deploy additional hardware. You have to be there on site to configure, to load balance, to patch, to update. And this new environment or set of environments, a hybrid environment, is requiring organizations that rely on this legacy technology to employ a disjointed set of resources to protect different environments and different kinds of users wherever they are. So at Perimeter 81, we've developed a platform that is cloud native and software based, no hardware at all. It makes it significantly easier to consume. What we are deploying is really the merger between network services and security as a service. What Gartner is referring to as an emerging SASE market, a secure access software edge. The idea here is that we can deploy these services incredibly easily, especially from the perspective of an MSP partner. Again, no hardware, so deployment is all done remotely. And you can completely control secure access to whatever digital asset an organization of yours needs to protect, whether it's cloud-based or on-premise. So in simple terms, from a high level, Perimeter 81 is providing organizations the ability to deploy a network. This is a private network that exists in Perimeter 81 managed points of presence that can be anywhere around the globe. It's identity aware and provides as the secure connection point between users that are authenticating into those network resources that are connected to this network via IPsec site-to-site tunneling or WireGuard-based tunnels. Whether those digital assets are deployed in the cloud, an on-premise or physical environment behind a firewall, and of course, providing security and privacy to those users as they browse the internet. It's all managed from a multi-tenant platform so that partners like you can manage client networks very simply, both their networks and their users. You can see deploying networks can be done in different regions around the world. We have local POPs for the UK and the EU. And this can be used as a method of adding capacity to otherwise strained legacy technology that may sit on site. For example, we have connections here to physical environments like a Cisco environment or Palo Alto firewall environment. But then we also have a gateway here that's connected to an Azure environment or a GCP environment.
1 minute remaining.
Thank you. This private network provides the ability for us to deploy security features, such as a recently introduced feature of DNS filtering. So now you can control and protect your users wherever they are in the world as they access network resources. We can also deploy more granular access by publishing individual applications for users to consume through a browser-based portal. So we support these 5 different protocols, whether it's RDP or web apps.
30 seconds remaining.
Thank you. The users authenticate into a browser-based session and access things like RDP from their browser. This makes it ideal for unmanaged devices. So this is the simplified network that
10 seconds.
allows for an easier consumed security as a service. Excited to be here and love to hear any questions that the audience has or from our judges. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Very good.
That countdown makes me nervous. I feel sorry for you, Jim.
You're keeping me honest. I appreciate it.
Right. So got the one question. Obviously, guys, if you've got anything else to add, just pop it in. So the first one is we've got Gary, who has actually tested Perimeter 1 and he liked it as a product, but it wasn't a trial option at the time. But I know you've got a guarantee in place. So if you just want to elaborate on that, that'd be brilliant.
Absolutely. So our pricing is per user license and a per gateway license. We don't have free trials at this time anyway, but we do offer a guaranteed period. So for the first 30 days, whether it's you or your clients that are testing the product, it's a paid trial, but if you cancel within the first 30 days, you get a full refund.
Brilliant. So it's a 30-day money back guarantee,
Correct.
isn't it? Yeah. No problem. So Martin said, you probably know what's coming here. What are the pricing and the minimums?
Yes. So it's strange. Most people ask me what the maximums are, which is a simple one to answer. There are no maximums, right? We can be infinitely scalable, but the pricing is it's per user per gateway. The per gateway licenses are going to start at $50 MSRP per month, regardless of the tier that the client is operating in. The user licenses are either $10 or $15. We do have, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, through our great partners at QBS MSP, we do have pound-based pricing.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can answer that. We basically just take the conversion into account and then just charge you the pound format. So we've got exactly the same format in place.
The minimums are on the essentials tier, which is the base tier, is 5 user minimum. So you're looking at 5 users and 1 gateway. The starting point for a small client would be $100 US, converted to whatever it is through our great partners at QBS. The most popular tier for clients to utilize is the premium tier, which has a 10 user minimum. So 10 users, 1 gateway, you're looking at $200 US at the discounted and converted price. The reason that is the most popular, the primary driver of that, is the integration with identity providers. So to make the platform identity aware, integrating with an Active Directory or an Okta, anything of that sort, you would have to be on that premium tier.
Okay. And is IP and port level filtering on the roadmap as of yet?
Yes. In fact, we have policy setting that can restrict user access to these application through this portal. Is already available on the application. We have a new feature called Network Policy Rules, which should be rolling out in the next couple of weeks, possibly up to a month. It's always hard to get a specific rollout date for features like this, but Network Policy Rules is going to be rolled out shortly and provide that those same capabilities at the network level.
No problem. I think you've made Gary happy there with your answer.
We like keeping Gary happy.
That's fine. Yeah, Rick, any questions from you?
No, I'm all good. Thank you very much, Jim.
Terrific.
Round of applause for Jim, everyone.
Thanks, Jim.
Love this
Thank you
virtual
very
round of applause thing. It's great to see everybody clapping on the cameras.
Feels like the NHS at 8 o'clock all over again, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Alistair Brenton's just had his head in his hands at that one, doesn't he? I just caught him.
Oh, he's used to being by now.
Right. Okay. So we've got one left, one vendor remaining, and it's Rob from Thycotic. Rob, are you there? I can see you sharing your screen.
Oh, yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you really well. Nice and clear.
Great.
Okay,
can you
Rob.
see the screen?
We can see your screen. Welcome, Rob. So are you ready to go? Feeling confident?
Yeah, I think I'm good to go. Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Right, you're ready to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Rob from Thycotic here. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about privileged access management and why it's a little bit like learning to clean your bedroom. So when we're growing up, I think we all enjoy living in a little bit of mess, and it takes us a little bit of time to kind of come to grips with the benefits of starting to get tidy and clean things up. What we tend to find is that when things are slightly disorganized, which is actually, I think, in lots of ways, our natural way to be, slowly but surely, challenges start to creep up. You might find, starting over here on the left, that the powers that be get quite angry with you if your room isn't tidy. That's one problem. Perhaps you're on your way out the front door, suddenly mum or dad grabs you, you're not going to task anymore. Perhaps you find that you can't find the things that you need. That's one of the other challenges you have when your bedroom isn't clean at all. I mean, we can all experience that even today. And then lastly, perhaps other people find things that they're not supposed to find. When everything's just laid out on the floor, disorganized, it's much harder for you to actually control who is accessing what. Now, why am I talking about this? And why am I fascinated with The Simpsons? I can't really explain the Simpsons thing. It's just a thing that I'm fond of. But there is relevance here, okay? These three problems are actually relevant to things that we experience every day. The powers that be being compliance, stopping us from going out and doing the things we want to do because things aren't in order. Perhaps those can also be your customers as well. From an operational perspective, when we can't find the things that we need in order to do the things that we want to do. And from a security perspective, when people get their hands on stuff that we'd rather was kept hidden. So what's this got to do with privileged access management? Well, privileged access management is a lot to do with the relationships between the people in your business, in your MSP, the various IT admins and staff that you have, and the privileges that they get access to. And it's all the more important for you guys as business people, because your networks are linked to lots of other people's networks as well, which means that privileged access isn't just access into your own business, it's access into other people's privileged accounts, servers, and environments. So privileged access management is about taking a disorganized situation where perhaps lots of people have access to lots of different things and starting to move towards a slightly tidier, more proactive position. From a compliance perspective, that means that rather than having your ISO 27001 certificate suddenly hit a road bump because you're not able to prove who's got access to what, you're able to prove exactly who is doing what. That also includes your customers who may be coming to you saying, look, we feel uncomfortable with having our data accessed in this kind of way. Are you able to prove that there is controls over who is accessing what in our environments and how our data is being used? From the operational perspective, of course, if you've got hundreds or thousands of credentials or privileged accounts and lots of staff who need to access them, sometimes there's a bit of a nightmare in making sure the right people have access to the right systems. And then, of course, people forget passwords and suddenly work becomes a lot more challenging. If we could remove that challenge and enable people to find the right things more easily, that might help. And of course, the biggest challenge, of course, is security, because we all know that the privileged access and privileged accounts that exist in an MSP environment are particularly helpful for a cyber criminal who wants to infiltrate a set of organizations and businesses. So what is Thycotic about? Thycotic is about business, or in the case of the analogy, bedroom transformation. We're all about helping you move from a situation where passwords and users are all over the place, which I think is the natural state of a business, which is focusing on profit and growth. Nothing to be ashamed of there. But we can help you move up that maturity curve so that everything is in its right place. That includes discovering all privileged accounts and users, making sure that only the right people get access to the right things, separating people from passwords so users don't have to remember long lists of passwords. They simply get access based on their identity. You can enable request for access workflows so only the right people get access just in time. You can identify suspicious usage of the accounts on your network and your customer's environment, audit, report, have session video, and ensure that all users get VPN-less remote access. Thycotic can help you do all of that and move your business towards that bottom image there of a nice, tidy bedroom, something that we all benefit from.
1 minute remaining.
Organize it. So what this means from a compliance perspective is you get on with your auditors, your compliers, and your customers. From an operational perspective, all the right people can find the right things at the right time. And from a security perspective, only you get access to those very secret privileged accounts that you know you need access to and nobody else. It's a win-win-win across all three elements. And that's what we help our customers to do. So what we're offering you is a chance to meet one-to-one with a rep of your choice who can help talk you through how we're helping MSPs all around the world to improve their privileged access management, improve the rate at which it works, and improve their compliance and trust standpoint. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Excellent. Well done, Robert. Very good. Okay.
Yeah, good,
Right.
good. I'd love to take some questions.
Yeah, cool. And keep them filtering in, guys, if you've got anything that you need to ask. I'm just going to start with one. How is it licensed?
Good question. So from a licensing perspective, the more users that use the system to access different things, the more the price goes up. So it's incremental based on the number of users. So if you have a set number of IT admins that need to access privileges and privileged accounts across your customer's environment, we're going to charge you based on the users, not the number of environments.
Right, okay. And is there any minimum attached to that?
You know, I actually don't know about that. I don't know what the minimum would be. I mean, I assume it's something reasonable. So, you know, 5, 10 admins, I imagine, would be the kind of the line that we draw things at.
Yeah, I think Katrina's just chipped in and said 5.
Good thing Katrina's here. Cheers, Kat.
It's always good to have a backup when you need it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why I've got Rick. Are there multiple tiers of the solution?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So the solution can be twisted and configured based on your requirements, right? So if your focus is purely at the credential level and you just want to make sure that you're focusing on rotating passwords, discovering them, and role-based access and control to them, then there is a solution for that. If you also want advanced capabilities like, you know, request for access workflows, session video of everything that's happening in your customers' environments, insider threat detection, you know, that takes you up to the sort of the platinum, all singing, all dancing solution. So we allow our customers to work between them. Typically, we find that people want to go for everything because they find all the features so useful.
Okay. Is it mixed on-prem and cloud, or?
Yeah, so we tend to find that MSP customers value being able to employ this in their own environments, but we offer the industry's leading SaaS solution as well. So all elements can be consumed in SaaS, high availability, 99.9% SLA, ISO 27001 certified, but the on-premise solution is also just as good in terms of its capabilities. So it's really up to you.
Okay, hopefully you got that, Gary. Martin's asked, what platforms do you integrate with?
Martin, we integrate with pretty much anything. So we have a long list of out-of-the-box integrations in terms of what we can discover, the credentials that we can vault, then the automated password rotation, and the ability to inject the credential at the start of the session so that the user doesn't see it. The amazing thing about Thycotic compared to the competition is that we allow those customers who are a little bit more technically savvy and want to be hands-on, you can adapt the solution for free within the tool. So there's templates and customization options because every environment is different and will have different systems. Every day there's a new SaaS application. And especially from an MSP perspective, you're exposed to a variety of technologies. So you can rest assured that with Thycotic, you'll have the broadest reach in terms of integrating with different systems.
Okay, no problem. And how long have you guys been around?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, Thycotic, it's a weird name, isn't it? So the name actually comes from our founder's laser tag team. So I guess it started at some point somewhere in America in a laser tag in the late 90s, I believe. It then morphed into a consultancy. And then we started developing this solution, which has been building up now for about 10 years. So, you know, in the different forms, laser tag team, consultancy, and then full-fledged product leader in PAM, you know, over about 20 years. I'll let you decide which of those is the most important.
Yeah, Bella's chipped in to say that it sounds like a really intense leg workout.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, watch out for that. Lots of quality in the solution, but your legs will get tired.
I think that's all the questions that we've got on the chat. So, Rick, if you want to.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Rob. Round of applause for Rob, everyone. Cheers. A little virtual clap. That was great. So we're going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks so much for attending today. Now, the important thing to make this work is that you all go to the landing page that you've been sent and you submit your requests for, you know, if you want a trial or if you want to take a look at anything, but also let us know which vendor you feel has won the pitch competition. And that will help us understand what you guys want, but also help us understand what we're going to focus on as part of the special prize. So that's it. Thanks so much for coming along. We have maintained about 55 people, between 55 and 65 throughout the call, and you know the chances are that many of you will want to look at more than one product. So just do bear with us in coming back to you, because the chances are we've potentially got to organize like 250 registrations, and Danny's fingers are going to get pretty tired. So yeah,
there's only so much admin I can do, guys, in a day.
So yeah, thanks very much for joining. We will keep you informed on who has won, and we'll do this again next year probably, or if not before, who knows. Yeah, thanks for attending everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
No problem at all. Thank you, guys.